What's up, y'all? This is Coach Raph. This is In Between the Yards, baby. Let's go. What's up, y'all? This is In Between the Yards. Go Blue. We just beat Ohio State. Got a special guest with us today. My guy, Jaxson. Jackety Jack. What's up, bro? Introduce yourself, man.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jaxson Arrington. I play linebacker, safety, nickel, everything you can think of on the defensive side of the ball at Lone Peak High School.
He does it all. For real. That's Mr. America right there. Captain America. What's up? Show him. So I do a thing, man. It's called Two Truths and a Cap. And I have to figure out which one is the cap. So go ahead and shoot.
Let's see. I had 2 pick sixes in one game this year. I had over 100 tackles playing nickel. What's another one? I threw up 15 plus times in one game.
100 tackles.
Yeah, I only had 97.
90. Hey, that ain't bad though. That ain't bad. That's love though. That's not easy. So that's what's up, man. No, I've had the pleasure of seeing what you can do last year and this year, and I kind of just want to walk through a little bit about your history, man. I know that you grew up out here, right? And, Highlands or. Yeah,
I mean, I was born in St. George, and I lived there the first 8 years of my life. But then we moved out here, and we lived in the Highland area ever since.
Okay, and then how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 brothers.
3 brothers. They all play football as well?
Yeah, all older too.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd they play at?
My oldest brother played linebacker at Lone Peak, and then he ended up going to Nevada right out of high school. And then one of my brothers played receiver and safety at Skyridge High School.
Okay.
Went to Northern Colorado, is currently in the transfer portal. And then another brother played corner at Lone Peak, went to Northern Colorado, but is in the transfer portal too.
Okay, you come from a straight up monster of a family. I mean, I know your family personally, and good. This guy comes from good stock. Brothers, father. I'm actually friends with your father, and this is pretty dope. So walk me through because I know you got some fans out there. I have kids on my 7th grade team that we won a championship, by the way. Shout out to Lone Peak 7th grader B team. We got that. Anyway, there's some of those kids that know who you are, and they respect you and look up to you. What are some of the things that you would tell them, and then how did you get to where you know, because you went through the youth conference as well up into high school. What do you have for those guys?
Don't wait. I think I waited too long to really work on my craft. I didn't wait until probably sophomore year to really dedicate myself. I always worked out, I always went to the gym, but it wasn't until sophomore year where I really dedicated myself and realized all the things I have to do to make this dream happen.
That's what's up.
So it's just don't wait. You're in 6th grade right now, you got to start every day from now till July, every day. It's got to be work.
Heck yeah. I mean, you still got me thinking. You actually threw up 15 times in a game?
Yeah, against Lehigh this year. I don't know. Something got me.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
Nerves must have got me before the game. I threw up in the locker room right before the start of the game. And then it just kept flowing.
Oh, man. Yeah. Man, that's something else. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm taking my helmet off mid-play, throwing up, and then going and making the tackle.
Hey, that's what's up. That's called dedication right there. Walk me through how you feel as far as one of the things I like to do on my podcast is I like to bring coaches and students and all that. And I really love the state of Utah. I love football here, which I think that there's a ton of great athletes here. But I feel like the exposure isn't where it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I feel that it's kind of great to explore, and then other, adults and coaches, they look at this podcast as well. And one of the things I have for you is and you don't have to hold back, and I just wanted you to be completely honest, is how do you feel because you're a senior, right?
Yeah.
Your last 4 years playing at Lone Peak, walk me through your experience. What's good and then what could be better?
I don't know. Rocky is the word I would use for sure. Because, I came in as a freshman, got pulled up to the sophomore team to play quarterback, but then ended up not starting, but staying on the sophomore team and playing receiver. And so I kind of was, when I realized maybe quarterback's not for me. Okay. So then I stayed at receiver, played receiver sophomore year, played on the sophomore team, led my team and led the sophomore team in all stats.
Oh,
didn't get pulled up.
You didn't?
Didn't get pulled up at the end of the year for playoffs. And that kind of was like the light in my light.
Okay.
And then going to junior year, work my ass off all off season. Don't even get a chance to play receiver at all junior year.
And that's what you were trying to, that was like your position.
Didn't even get a shot to play receiver at all junior year. So then I switched to safety, got my opportunity there. And then senior season, I'm going in, I'm starting safety, playing receiver all spring, all summer, and I'm looking like the guy on the defense and even playing offense. And then we hit fall camp, which is end of July, 2 weeks before we play our first game, and they say, we're not playing you at safety anymore. You're going to play nickel and outside linebacker, a position I haven't played since I was in 6th grade.
But you were starting.
Yeah.
But you hadn't played it.
I hadn't played it since Little League football. Jeez. So you had a position and what I've been working for since, the position I've been working at for 8 months, just got took from me, and now I'm trying to play a position and learn a whole new position 2 weeks before I have to play my first game. And so
I can see your frustration there.
Yeah, and it's just, that's the whole thing, is just rocky. I've dealt with a lot of
adversity,
ups and downs at this school. Just I've been moving all over the place just to trying to find my place.
Yeah.
And I just haven't been didn't get the help
that you felt like you needed. Where would you say the most improvement could come from?
Just,
I know I'm putting you on the spot with that, but the reason I'm asking you that is because I feel like the best coaches, they try to mix it up, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is not me, not yourself. There's no coach out there that's above being critiqued, right? And so, I think that is there things that Lone Peak could absolutely improve in? Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Is there things that all these schools could improve in?
Yeah, of
absolutely. But there are some programs out that are extremely strong out there.
Yeah.
There's one of the schools that I like. They're under rebuilding structure right now. They didn't win a lot of games, but I like the coach at Murray. I love Coach Armijo, but I also like what they're doing up there at Syracuse. I love what they're doing. Park City, they're Division 4, I believe, right?
Yeah, 4A.
But it's a good system. And Corner Canyon, I absolutely love their program.
Yeah, Corner Canyon, Coach Kerr is the best coach in the state.
He's a monster. And even though I got love for Coach Bart, but I do feel that we could definitely improve in various areas. And this is no shot at Lone Peak. I love Lone Peak. But at the same time, there's some holes that need to be filled. So I agree with you on that. As far as recruiting, I know you had some offers. Where have you had offers to, and then where do you want to go?
I've had D2 NAI offers from Central Methodist. I got a D3 offer from Puget Sound, Southern Virginia.
Southern Virginia, okay.
So it's just places like that. And then where I want to go is FCS. I think that's my goal. Idaho State, Utah Tech, Northern Arizona, Portland State, schools like that. You know
where you might actually, I've seen you play, and don't laugh at me when I say this.
Yeah.
But seeing your skill set, I like Idaho State for you, but don't be opposed to University of New Mexico. I think you would definitely get on this.
I would love that. Yeah.
UNM, and I also think New Mexico State.
Yeah.
And I think you would be fine in that system. Just seeing how you play, but it's never too late. Even you can walk on or whatever.
I'm just looking for an opportunity to play at the Division I level, like FCS, FBS.
Yeah.
Any school that gives me a chance, I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna prove myself.
I love that, bro. I love that. You've been playing since you were in sixth grade, or even before then.
I've been playing football since 2nd grade.
Yeah, you've been playing for a long time. So it's not. I don't think that it's finding a system. So the thing is, we're talking about it. Some people, I remember there was this guy. His name was, oh my God, Denard Robinson. He played for Michigan, and Michigan is a very ground and pound football team. I mean, it's just kind of how it is. But one of the things is Denard Robinson, extremely fast. He couldn't play in that system, so we had to go through to spread, and he thrived. And sometimes I feel like coaches get so caught up in making making the athletes fit the system when we need to surround the kids around a system that will work for them. Right? That's when you're going to get your better results. Sure. And so I feel like sometimes a lot of coaches get caught up in this is the system, like this is the system, and that's not always the end result. You have to build around. I think, like, for instance, is like what's his name, Zach Wilson, right? I actually like Zach Wilson. I don't think the Jets is the team for him. I'm like, well, Raph, what are you talking about? Where should he go? I think he fits more in. I think he'd be a better backup for Baltimore. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? That's a system that fit Zach Wilson. And like I said, I mean, it's easy to kind of.
Well, and like for me, it's like NFL, college. You can have a set system because you're choosing who comes to play for you. Absolutely. Like NFL, you draft, you sign free agents. College, you recruit kids that you think fit your system.
Right.
But in high school, you have no control who comes through your program.
Not at all.
And who comes through your system. So each year in high school, I think really, like if you got a bunch of, like your athletes change every year, you got to change your system because because a senior class 1 year could need a whole new system than the senior class that's coming next year. So
absolutely,
like to me, like college, NFL, you can have a set system because you get to choose each year who comes through your school. But in high school, you gotta be.
That was greatly said.
You got to be like subject to change.
Yeah, no, and I think that there's another thing that bothers me a lot. This isn't a complaining session, but I've seen so many kids come through a system, whether it's like from youth to high school to college, whatever, and you see kids that are like talented, super talented. And yes, like in college, you have to wait your turn, best man plays. Like I get all that, but there are some stud athletes that get no love. Yeah, and part of it is, coach don't know them, and then from freshman to sophomore to JV and varsity, like you're going through multiple coaches, right? And then you get, say from freshman to sophomore, you got a different coach, 2 different completely styles, right? And now you're like, what? And then, you're killing it, and then you go to sophomore, and it's like, you know what I mean? And then you go to JV, and it's like,
like the thing I went through sophomore year, I played offense for the sophomore team. We had a completely different offense and play style than what the JV and varsity was running.
Horrible.
Meaning, like, I'm trying to prepare myself for varsity next year, but I'm not running the same plays. I'm not running the same system that I'm trying to prepare for.
Dude, I've been saying this for a long time. If you have a system at the sophomore level, right, it needs to be mimicked the varsity plays defense, offense. The sophomore coach needs to mimic that to a T.
Yeah, like the sophomore team, the only thing that it's really for is to progress and build these players to play at the varsity level.
Absolutely.
So there's no point that they should be playing. Like there's no reason they should be playing their own game. They should be running the play so they can get it like engraved in their minds on what they're supposed to be doing the next 2 years.
I actually would go further than this. I think from freshman all the way to varsity, it should be the same.
Yeah.
It's an easy transition. Like, hey, I'm a freshman. I was playing in this system. Okay, cool. Like, I understand it. All right. Right. And then from sophomore to JV and varsity, it should be like clockwork. I feel like if coaches don't do that, it's a disservice to your athletes. Absolutely. There's no other way to.
Imagine how good you are if you run in the same system for 4 years, except that to the comparison of you running the same system for 2 years.
No, I get it.
If you're only running the same system your junior and senior year, yeah, it's going to be good, but imagine how much better it could be if you're running it for your freshman and sophomore year too.
And that's one of the things that they do at Corner Canyon. Yeah. It's one of the things they do at Syracuse. Is one of the things that they do at what's this school? Lehigh. Like I love those transitions. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I feel like at Long Peak, there's some discrepancies there, what have you. Yeah. But I also understand that I'm not like, oh, hey, I'm, the gatekeeper to everything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but there's definitely some gaps in the program that I think that can improve for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Seeing how you are, a senior and you're about to go off and do great things, what is it that you actually want to do with your life?
I'm chasing the dream right now. And to me, I haven't really thought about a backup plan because I'm all in right now. I'm doing what I can this off season till February when I decide my school. I'm all in. All my chips are on one bag, and some people might say, "Oh, you need a backup plan." Not me.
I'm against the fence because I believe in a backup plan. However, that's my own, objective truth, whatever. But thing is hey man, I mean, having that attitude is probably why you started all 4 years. You know what I mean? I do believe in having a plan. Like for myself, I love football. I live it, I breathe it. But then I started to see, and I don't think you're there yet, but you will get there eventually. And that's absolutely fine. Like,
And to me, it's like, obviously I want to go to school. I want to get a degree because I think say football fails, I got a degree in my back pocket.
Right.
I can go do great things.
Yeah.
And just being in the field that I'm in, like a football, like there's so many jobs that come with sport, like playing sports.
Absolutely, dude.
So
absolutely. Like there's so many different jobs that you can do. I mean, you be an assistant for a college or, or a NFL team or learning front office stuff. There's so much. The game of football, the game of any sport, that 60 minutes, right, is only a tiny portion of what goes into a football game. Obviously, you know that, right? You got preparation, you got videography. There's all these other things that you can do sports psychology, like, you know what I mean? And so you have all these different facets that you could explore. My thing is just that if you're all in, bro, I support it. I support it. But as you go all in, my only ask is that you don't lose yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, I have friends, not so much now over the last couple of years, but they were 30. Like, yeah, man, I'm about to play for this arena football team, and nobody's looking for you at that age, bro. Like, it's a sad truth, right? So I don't want you to get that's extreme, but I think
there's always got to be a point in life where you got to decide when to hang it up. You got to know when to call quits.
And right now, that's not you. So that's a good thing. So you can still, I think sometimes, man, if you're all in, the best advice I can give you, other than as you pursue, remember, you may have to have a plan B, but that's not what I actually want to say. If you're all in, man, if you're seriously all in, what's your grade point average?
My GPA, 3.8.
You're smart.
Yeah.
If you're going to be all in, you're going to have to do something. You have to do something that's uncomfortable. You say you want to go, you want to go FCS, you want to go Division I, you're going to have to get in your truck, drive down where you want to go talk to the coaches, go talk to all the schools you want to go to. Yeah. Email the coach, email the AD, whoever. You need a meeting with. You tell them. You sit down. Hey, coach, I know I'm Jaxson Arrington. Yeah. You know me. This is my film. This is this, and this. You're getting a kid that's smart. Whatever you are. You need whatever. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to earn a spot. And you want to walk on. I mean that. A lot of coaches. I mean, if you were a coach, wouldn't you respect someone like that?
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah. It absolutely happens. And that's what I would do. I would get busy. If you're going to be all in, you might have to take that drive to Colorado State or wherever. Yeah. And if you have that attitude, dude, that's a beautiful, and you're smart.
Yeah.
So you might have to do that. It's unconventional, but you know what I mean?
That's the one thing I've realized. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get there.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah. Absolutely. What about Weber? I would start in state. I would go hit Weber.
Yeah, I went on a game day visit to Weber a couple weeks ago. Okay. Yeah. I would love to play at Weber. It's been like a hometown school. They're a great program.
Yep.
Mickey Mantle's a great head coach.
Mantle's dope.
Matt Ayu, great linebackers coach. Mm-hmm. They have one of the best coaching staffs.
One of my buddies, Coach Q, he used to coach at Weber, and then he went to Jacksonville Jaguars for a couple years, and then now he's at the U. Shout out Coach Q. And I'm telling you, man, it's you want these guys to know your name.
Yeah.
You want to be hungry. It's like and you may get a shot. Hey, there's 10 schools. And you're like, you know what? I'm a shoot my shot. It's numbers at that point. I think you can play. I think you can play, and I think you can play on Saturdays. And I want to see that. man, your story, you're the illustrator of your story, nobody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You pray about it, you talk to your parents about it, and then you execute. Don't sit on it, bro.
That's why, like, the biggest thing is a bet on yourself.
That's it.
This whole sport is bet on yourself. Preferred walk on, that's all you got. Bet on yourself and take it.
Bro, not to sound corny, but I wasn't given the best hand at the beginning of my life. Yeah. And I know with the darkness, I was comfortable in the darkness. So I'm like, okay, I know this. But when I started to see the light and, you know, God started to open up doors, I started listening to my mentors, and dude, it was just like abundance. And so, but I was just like you, I bet on myself. And so, like, I don't have parents I can, like, if things go south, there's no mom or dad to help me out. I have to figure it out. So I know what it's like to go all in. And I love your hard work, like, mentality, bro. Do it. Yeah. Do it. Because the worst thing, you may get 10 no's before you get a yes. But betting on yourself is great. Like I said, man, it's part of the process is learning as you go through it. But what I love I really love that you're betting on yourself. But I also think that, like, you're 18, right? Yeah. You only get a couple years, man, before you know what I mean? Like, and so why not spend these years going at it? Like, you know, I feel like I always tell my guys, like, yes, be 18. Like, yes, go do what an 18-year-old would do, you know. But at the same time, bro, if you're really serious about playing on Saturdays, you're going to have to work.
Well, that's the one thing is, like, you got one shot at this.
That's it.
Give her hell.
That's right.
Like, I got one shot to make things happen.
That's right.
I really got till February, a little bit after, to find a home, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure I find a home. Like,
what's your schedule? What's your class schedule look like? Do you have to take, like, how many classes are you taking? Like 5 or is it 6?
Yeah. Well, like, during the football season, you had to be enrolled in 6 classes to be able to play.
Okay.
But now, as football season's over, the football class that we had is over. So now I only have 5 classes. So my schedule's open to working out. And so
you need to, what's going to happen? What are you going to put in that slot?
Yeah.
No, what are you going to put in that slot?
Football slot? I'm looking at, I'm probably a study hall. Make sure I can get my work done.
All right. There you go. I mean, even, like, do some research, man. Research some schools. I don't know if, I forgot the head coach of San Diego State. But I like I said, man, there's opportunities in state, out of state, and research. Yeah. You know, get in your car, do whatever. There's nothing wrong with playing Division III, but I feel like if you really want to take it to that route, why not, bro? Yeah. You need to find out when they're having, like, the walk-on openings, pretty much. Find out when those are scheduled and schedule yourself. You know what I mean? Another thing is, I feel that you know what you need to do, and that's half the battle. Like, some kids like, well, you know, I want to play and I don't want to play. I'm cool with either, but in the sense of, like, if you really are gonna say, like, hey, I'm into it, I do want to play, but then you're not showing that through your actions, then it's like, well, the time is just, you know, and I feel like a lot of younger kids don't know how fast 4 years go by.
Oh yeah,
flew by for you, huh?
Got no idea. I mean, you put on that jersey your freshman year, and then all of a sudden, you're putting it on for the last time your senior year, and you're just like, damn.
Yeah, no,
4 years
for sure.
Gone by.
Flies by, bro. Flies by. One of the other things I wanted to talk about, I always talk about, like, mental health, because I feel like mental health is, like, paramount when it comes to just life. You know what I mean? And how did you deal with things that were difficult, and, like, how do you deal with your mental health now? And it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to tell me anything that would violate, like, HIPAA, but just what you would want the audience to know.
I don't know. I put a lot of pressure on myself. There's obviously a lot of pressure, but I have great people around me.
That's, like, what's up.
I'm very fortunate to have 2 very loving parents that are always there to support me.
I agree.
And then it's put all of it on faith, you know. I'm grateful to be given this life by my Creator, God.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, like, I pray every night, and I pray before every game. I pray before, like, anytime I have a problem, I pray, because there's one man that can help me, and it's Jesus Christ. And
that's right.
And so that's probably been the biggest thing to me is getting through the struggles. Is I rely on my faith, and I rely on Jesus Christ, anytime I'm going through struggles, I find my way back.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I always tell people, Christ, right? Yeah. Christ and family, close friends, bro. Like that's paramount I feel to having a successful life in general, right?
Yeah, because like the one thing is like what they always preach in Sunday school is you don't have to be alone, and it's true. Mm-hmm. Like anytime you feel alone, mm-hmm. God, Jesus Christ, they always are with you. So anytime I feel like I'm going through something alone, where like I've had my ups and downs through my football career, I pray about it.
Yeah.
And I always have someone there with me.
That's dope, man. Yeah. I love that, Jaxson. Look, man, so you're gonna be all right. Yeah. You're gonna be all right. You follow that recipe, man, and you'll be there. Before we close it up, I always give my guests an opportunity to ask me one or two questions about myself or whatever. Yeah. So go ahead and shoot. You ask me a question now.
I don't know. When did you realize that, like, it was time to end it? Like, because we talk about how, mm-hmm. like, there's always got to be a point in someone, like, every, like, football player's life where it's time to hang up the cleats. Like, what, like, led up to you realizing, all right, it's time to focus on a new route? And, like, what led to you deciding to do this with your life? Like,
okay. That's a great question, Jaxson. I'll be honest with you, man. I knew I was all in on myself, but then I let myself be influenced by friends and being liked and all that, man. And, like, now that I'm grown, I'm in my 30s, I feel that, like, I don't let any of that stuff, like, I've grown. But I knew I was going to hang it up, man, when I, like, was about to graduate. Like, I was done with football. I love football, but I had to figure out, like, okay, what is it that I need to do? And so my my godfather actually came in to my apartment. He was like, look, you're smart. You need to figure out what you're going to do with your life. Yeah. And I had talked to a buddy whose dad was in the Navy, and I kind of, like, thought about it. It was just I had already, like, I was done with football after I graduated, but I wanted to be a part of something, like, special. But I remember just having a talk with Coach Lloyd Carr before I graduated, and I just knew I was destined to work with adolescents, bro. Like, I knew that at a young age. Like, even when my parents were alive, my mom did a lot of stuff. She even did foster care for other kids and stuff like that. Yeah. But then I was good at school. I was smart like you. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and get the degrees and whatnot. But I never looked back. And so now one of the mistakes I made when I was in high school is that I felt like I didn't take high school as serious as I did college. And then when I was in college, I didn't think I took it as serious. So I wanted to start taking things seriously. Yeah. And then when my parents had passed away, it was just like, dude, I have to bet on myself all the time, and I can't get it wrong. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from that. And that's why I say, like, it's fast, bro. Like, and so my whole purpose in life, man, it's not about acquiring the cars, the clothes, the women, none of that. It's my rent for being here on earth is to pay it forward. I have a need to want to make somebody else's life better. I don't care if it's a compliment. I don't care if it's a small token of appreciation. I don't care if it's a conversation. Yeah. But I just feel that that's, like, my calling is just to influence someone in a positive way. Yeah. Like, not like social media influencer type stuff, you know what I mean? But like real change. Like, you know, I don't know. I care. Yeah. And so that's why I like to have these. This isn't like this podcast isn't about me. It's, like, about exposure. It's there's so many kids that deal with, like, mental health, right? Yeah. There's so many kids that are good that want to play, and then, you know, maybe they don't because of bad coaching or they were discouraged, right? And so I feel like a lot of adolescents, they're shut down a lot, and no one wants to hear. But in order to have, like, true change, adults have to listen to our youth, right? Yeah. Like, change doesn't happen without you. Have you ever heard of this? It's called it's you're the future, right? Like, the children are our future. But I used to just think it was like whatever. But I really like, you guys are the future. Yeah. And so, like, what we're trying to put out there, and you guys, you know, gravitate towards whatever, part of what you digest makes you who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, I want like viewers to know like, hey, who's Jaxson? Who's Ben? Who's Sean? Who are these guys? They're part of our community. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know your parents, and I know a ton of people in the Lone Peak community that I love and I cherish, but I know a lot of people in Utah, and what I want, my dream is to unite everyone to where we can make, you know, mental health, bigger awareness, where bad coaching, a bigger awareness, so we can fix it, right? And so kids aren't feeling like, you know what, man, I'm good. Like, you know, I'm walking away from the game of football just because coaches didn't believe in me. And so, coaching high school, coaching at Lone Peak, and then coaching the youth, what I find is that the youth really enjoyed it. Can you remember when you were playing in 6th and 7th grade, right? Like, it was a pleasure, right? Yeah. And then as you get older, the responsibility of playing football is more intense. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of fun is taken out the game.
Well, like, I sometimes feel like it's up to you to continue that fun. Like, obviously, like 6th, 7th grade, all it is it's something you just do. It's fun. Right. But as I got into high school, it kind of became like, this was my job.
It's your job,
like,
right? Like,
this is what I dedicate 8 hours a day to doing, whether it's work, I'm in the gym, whether it's at practice, where it's at film study. And I mean, there's a point in every athlete's life where it's like, damn, do I really want this? Like, it's not even fun anymore. Right. And they're always like, people are always like, oh, you got to have fun. So it's kind of up to you to find like the fun things that come with the game. And to me, that's why it's always enjoy practice. I always enjoy the gym. I'm at practice with my best friends. I enjoy it. I make it fun. I'm in the gym. Right. I'm working out, but I'm having fun. I'm with my trainers, you know. Yep. That's why you have to be able to make it fun yourself.
That's right. No, dude, I love it.
And I think that's a big reason why people will fall out love with the game, because they can't find a way to make it fun for themselves.
They don't love it. They haven't found that love, right?
Which, like to me, it was, I've had my ups and downs with this game, but, I mean, I love this game more than life. And there's nothing I want to do to put a jersey on Friday nights. That's what I decided.
It's dope.
And that's And I'm at the point where there's nothing I won't do to put a jersey on every Saturday.
That's right.
And so, like, there's gonna be times where it might not be fun, and it's just hard work. But that's when discipline comes into the picture, and you have to have discipline to play this game.
Love it.
It's not everything in life is always gonna be fun, and it's never gonna be
not at all
100% great. And so you're gonna go through those rough patches. And that's when you have to you got to dig in, focus on yourself, and that's where discipline comes into the picture.
You're going to be all right. You know, I felt like I learned a lot more discipline when I was in the Navy. Yeah. And so you're right. The thing is, it's not always going to be fun. It's just like being married. Like, well, you're not married yet, but I love my wife, but it's not like every day's not going to be fun, right?
I mean, like
it's business.
Like everything, well, that's how everything I feel like is in life. Like there's nothing in life that's always going to be fun, and there's nothing in life that's always going to be the way you want it. Absolutely. Like everything is going to have its battles. Everything is going to have its ups and downs. So it's up to you to really find a way around it and find your way through it.
No, dude.
And like, you know, I've been blessed. Like my parents, like my dad grew up small town, like country boy. Yeah. I mean, he's a general contractor now, started his own company like when he was 22 years old. I mean, that's how I've been raised, is hard work, discipline, and I mean, just getting the job done.
I actually had a conversation at the gym with your father for about an hour. Yeah. So I know what his vision of you in the future looks like, but he is your dad, your lovely mom, good people. I mean, it's the way that your dad raised you and the way that he is, I can totally see that in what he installed with you. Yeah. Now in my life, man, I just want to see kids that work hard should win. Kids that just, you know, come to practice when they want to and then think they should start. No, I don't believe in that. And you've probably seen that.
I mean, that's to me been like one of the big problems that I dealt with at Lone Peak, is I felt like I was working my tail off, and I was working to be always one of the hardest workers on the team. Yeah. But I didn't feel like I was ever being rewarded for that hard work. And I mean, in this game, I know it's like rewards don't come very easily. But I agree. I think the hardest workers should be rewarded.
No, absolutely.
And the guys that that feel like they don't have to show up to everything, and the guys that just aren't always with the team and aren't 100% locked in and aren't all in for the team, and they're just kind of selfish, should be punished and shouldn't just be just like
swept under the rug. I get it.
Gifted the rewards that the kids that work the hardest should be.
Right. And then playing devil's advocate, right? Coaches will say, well, they're good. That's not good enough, because we all know what happens when those type of people play and they go, to the next level. They usually don't pan out.
Yeah. I mean,
so it all weeds itself out eventually.
Yeah.
So, man, no, dude, this has been a heck of an interview, Jaxson, man. I want to thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you for having me on. It's been awesome to just come out here and talk.
Dude, no, I thank you. Like, seriously, like we're on Saturday and we out here doing our thing, but I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but love and respect on the next level. You're going to do great. And so I'm going to be there, man. I'm going to be rooting for you on the sideline, and I want to see it.
Appreciate all the support.
For sure, bro.
Thank you.
All right, definitely. I want to give a shout out to Safe Streets. If you guys need alarm systems, security, home security, go to safestreets.com. This is Coach Raff, In Between the Yards, out.